On our last visit with North Atlantic Marine Services in Wareham, Massachusetts, co-owner Steve Lawrence walked us through the initial steps involved in commissioning a 23-foot outboard power center console. Steve showed us how to remove the shrink wrap, install the batteries, and wake up the 250 horsepower 4-stroke Yamaha engine from its winter slumber. Now it was time to start the engine and see if all systems were functioning properly. As the engine warmed to its operating temperature, Steve used a digital temperature gauge to check the power head at several points to make sure it was heating evenly and that there were no hot spots that could indicate a problem. He also took the time at this point to inspect the power head for signs of fluid or fuel leaks. Next, Steve checked the alternator with a voltmeter to see if it was putting out the correct charge.
14.06.
Got it.
14.12. Looking good, right?
Perfect. Perfect. You don't want to see it charging over 14.5 volts. It's right where it should be.
After that, Steve climbed aboard to check the shift and throttle, followed by the steering and tilt.
Tom, right now we're checking the steering to make sure that it's not binding, it's nice and smooth, it's responsive as far as looking back at the engine. I see no play back and forth when I'm looking at this and moving this slightly. The system is very good, just where it wants to be. From there I'll check the trim up and down. Okay, Tom, the last step what we're doing here to finish up our spring commission is replacing spark plugs. I've already taken off the outside cover, the dust cover that's here. I have removed one of the spark plug over coil packs right here. There's another one right here. Take the bolts out of it. And then have removed one of the spark plugs out by taking a wrench, going on, taking it out. These spark plugs, Tom, are very expensive. Okay, what we end up doing is we actually take these spark plugs, the spring spark plugs, and we put them into, or winterization spark plugs, and we put them into a bag for the customer. We replace them with the exact same spark plug depending on what the manufacturer has for the engine itself, and we put them back into the engine. Come next fall, what I will do is I'll take the winterization spark plugs back out of the bag, put them back into this engine to winterize this engine, take the spark plugs that I'm putting in right now out and save them for the following spring. So we basically have a winterization set of spark plugs and a summer running. Okay, Tom, at this point, Tom, I'm ready to install the last two spark plugs in the engine. What we use, Tom, is a piece of hose. This happens to just be a piece of old fuel line I had laying around. I put the spark plugs in here and then install them into the engine. What this does, this allows me to make sure and feel that the spark plug is going into the hole without using the spark plug socket itself, where I don't have the feel and it could actually end up cross-threading the threads into the head. Using this tool, I highly recommend anybody to use this. Line that spark plug up, twist it in there, pull it back off, and then torque the spark plugs down to the correct snug and a little. Snug and a little. Okay, Tom, the last thing that we would end up doing would be replacing the zincs. This one right here, in this engine we've got a zinc here on this as a tab, as well as a horseshoe zinc up underneath on the engine itself down in here. We remove those, put on a zinc kit, tighten them back down, and be done.
Well, Steve, we've got the big Yami all buttoned up and ready to go for the season. You walked us through all the steps. You can see that there's well, there are obviously quite a few things you got to do before just launching the boat. It's not a matter of throwing the boat in the water, turning the key, and you're on your way, right?
That's correct, Tom. In an engine like this and systems like this, you have to make sure that everything is up working correctly, it is serviced correctly, and that they maintain, so we do have a trouble-free season, and this engine is ready to go.
Great. Hey, well, thanks a lot, Steve, for walking us through the steps, spring commissioning steps. We're going to be back down here in Wareham, Massachusetts at North Atlantic Marine Services to talk to Steve and some of the other folks here who are the experts of this stuff. If you've got a problem with your boat or just want to give it some routine maintenance and love and caring, these are the guys to bring it to. They know what they're doing, and they're going to teach you how to keep better care of your boat and your engine. I'm Tom Richardson for BoatingLocal.com. We'll be back. Thanks for watching.
Beautiful.
All righty.